Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be getting messages and predictions for your month of October 2024. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that today's video is going to be a fundraiser, just like what we did last month and in a couple of our previous videos on this channel. I think many of you know that we are currently fundraising for Fares and his family in Gaza. I was matched with them by Project Love Brocade, which is a mutual aid initiative based in Canada. If you would like to know more about the work that Project Love Brocade does, I'm going to have their social media linked down below. So the reading here on YouTube is going to be as usual, where we start off with the general overview of your month ahead, and then your love life and relationships, career and studies, and spiritual and personal growth predictions. But then to go a level deeper, I have also prepared predictions for all 12 zodiac signs based on the astrological transits that are going to be happening in October, as well as my own intuition and messages from the tarot. These are shorter readings, about 8 to 12 minutes per sign. So if you combine your sun, moon, and rising sign, you can get a full picture. Of course, you can just watch for one placement, or it doesn't have to be your sun, moon, or rising. It can be any placement that you feel drawn to, however you feel that the reading would best serve you. So that's going to be linked down below. I'm also going to link their GoFundMe page for those who feel called to donate directly. That is the best way that you can help them. But I've also prepared these zodiac predictions as a way for you to receive something in return for your donation. And I really appreciate everybody who has supported so far, everybody who will, everybody who is currently considering supporting. Your donations are really making a world of a difference for this family. Just a quick note about the pricing. Last month, I had this idea of making all 12 signs $1 because I was thinking this is a very low price that could maybe attract more purchases, with the idea of, look, there's so many of us, and if everybody donated just $1, we could reach the fundraiser goal. However, after trying this, we received the same number of sales that we generally do. Lowering the price didn't seem to actually make a difference. So for this time, it is priced more similarly to the rest of the readings I have done on Vimeo. Thanks to your donations, Fares has been able to provide food for his family and provide milk for his baby brother, hygienic products. Since I started fundraising for them a couple months ago, they have been displaced once, and that was very expensive. But because of all of your donations, they were able to move to, well, there's not really a safe place in Gaza, but they were able to move away from the immediate danger. So I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You are literally saving lives. I love this collective so much. I love your compassion. I am inspired by you every single day. And thank you for providing me with this platform that I can use to give back and hopefully give a voice to people who have a constant effort by the people in power for their voices to be stifled. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of October 2024. We are going to start off with the general overview of your month, where we look at the main themes and the main energies of your month ahead. Then we're going to get into the specific areas of your life. So we're going to be getting predictions for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. There are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, and for each group there is a different colored tea light. So I'm going to show you guys these little tea lights up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have this red tea light. For my group number 2s, we have this orange tea light. And for my group number 3s, we have this yellow tea light. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the red tea light, this is going to be a reading all about your month of October 2024. There is something that I wanted to mention before we get into the cards. As you can see, I've had this bigger candle burning for a while now, and before I started filming your group, the flame was very small. It looked like it was going to burn out. And it's because the wick of the candle was too long and it got heavy and started like curling into the melted wax. So the wick was like submerged, and obviously the flame couldn't burn like that. So I trimmed off the wick and relit the candle, and now she is burning beautifully. And I thought that there might have been a message in there for those of you who chose this group about removing dead ends or removing stale energy in order to reinvigorate your own energy. You might have some things that are weighing you down, that are not allowing you to shine as bright as you could or to perform as well as you could. And so there's a feeling of removing this kind of dead or stale energy this month. This also could be literally like trimming dead ends, trimming your hair, trimming your plants, exfoliating, just removing that kind of, it sounds gross, but removing that dead gunk or like removing that junk. It could be decluttering your space, decluttering your devices so that they run smoother and faster, removing unneeded stuff from your space so that you feel more refreshed and focused when you step into that space. Just getting rid of anything that you don't need anymore, I think, will be a theme for you in the month of October. So with that being said, let's get into your cards. We're going to start off with the general overview of the month. So our first card for you is the Six of Pentacles. Independence, self-sufficiency, freedom, sovereignty. Pep Talk Planet. I've never seen this card before. This is Pep Talk Planet, one of the many affirmation comic doodles created by Sarah Luna, also known as the Lunar Walker, who is the creator of this deck. Pep Talk Planet is here to cheer you on, love you, and tell you how beautiful you are. And then I also have this piece of paper that says summer because I made these for a previous reading and they were just kind of chilling on my desk this whole time. And this fell onto the floor when I was shuffling your cards. So I thought maybe it was significant to you. Someone born in the summer, something you went through this past summer, or something happening in this coming summer. I'm just gonna leave her here. So, Six of Pentacles. This is Moon in Taurus energy. So you or someone significant could have this placement. This could also be a message that the time that the moon is in Taurus will be significant for you in the month of October. I actually have a cheat sheet today of astrological events so that I didn't have to be looking things up while I was filming. And there is going to be a full moon in Aries this month that falls on the 17th. But then on that same day after the full moon, the moon then moves into Taurus. So on the 17th, the moon is changing from Aries into Taurus. And I feel like this could be significant for you because we have this moon in Taurus here. I think that my group number ones, you have been very independent up until now. This could be in a certain area of your life or just in general. Whether that was by choice or perhaps you had to be independent because you only had yourself to rely on, but that is changing in the month of October. I feel like this full moon for you, the full moon that is happening this month, represents a sort of climax or completion where you have done everything that you can on your own. When you were unsupported or when you only had yourself, you really took on that challenge and you said, okay, then I'm going to do everything that I can by myself. I'm going to empower myself in these circumstances and just take this upon myself, take it on my shoulders. But now you've reached a point where you've done everything you can. And now it is time for you to receive help. It's time for you to keep going on this journey, but this time you're not alone. So a supporter is coming in, a partner is coming in, a collaborator is coming in. There's a feeling of all of the efforts that you've put in are now paying off. The universe is showing you confirmation that you are supported on this journey. You could be receiving some kind of reciprocity, receiving a response that you've been waiting for, or just that long-awaited support. It's like you've been walking along a road carrying a heavy weight, and you're like, okay, I can do this for a while, but it's gonna get heavier and heavier, and at some point I'm gonna need someone to come in and share this weight with me. And I feel like that's what's happening in October. So you're going from doing something completely alone to now maybe you're in a team or you have a partner with you. You've been putting effort out there consistently, and now all of that effort is coming back to you. The Six of Pentacles is about, it's about receiving assistance, and it's about an equal and fair exchange. So all of this hard work that you've been doing it's now time for that to pay off for you. There's also a sense of feeling emotionally settled, mentally and emotionally settled. So for those of you who have been feeling scattered, feeling kind of like you've been running around, or your energy is all over the place, or just feeling in a frazzled energy, that is really, really calming down this month. You're feeling settled, you're feeling secure. Anything you've been dealing with that has been up in the air, which can be quite frustrating, is finally being decided in clear terms. You could be coming out of a limbo as well, where you're like, I want to move forward with my life, but I don't know where these pieces are going to fall. So it's like, I can't move forward and start making decisions for my next chapter until I know like what's going to happen with this, and that this area of my life is going to be taken care of. So it's like all of those question marks are being taken care of and are being settled, so that you have a clear vision of what your path looks like in the future, and you can start actually like making decisions and working towards it. You know, it's kind of like, how do I know where to look for a job if I don't know where my house is going to be? Or like, how can I plan my travels if I don't know that my family is going to be taken care of? So it's like all of those things that needed to be decided and taken care of are going to be settled this month, and it just feels like a huge relief. I think weights being lifted from you is a big theme for you this month. And your spiritual team wants you to know that you've done an amazing job on your own, like trying to figure things out on your own, trying to make things work on your own, but we don't have to do that anymore. So support is coming in for you. For our remaining oracle cards, we have Not Enough, the Everyone Story. So you have been doing a lot and you have been working very hard, group number one, but I wonder if you don't feel that way yourself. You feel that you should be doing more. And I don't think that this is just an individual issue, as this says the Everyone Story. There's many people who feel this way. Sometimes we feel like we are supposed to be super independent, that we're supposed to be able to do everything on our own and figure everything out on our own. We feel that pressure that we're supposed to do that many people end up showing off their independence or performing their independence. So even those people who have a team or who have that support behind them maybe like to appeal, I did this all on my own, this was all me, because that's what our society praises. But then they perpetuate that narrative of, oh, I should be able to do this on my own. And so I feel that you, like many others, have internalized this idea of, if I'm competent, if I'm strong, if I'm motivated enough, I should be able to figure this stuff out by myself. And I think it's just made you and a lot of us feel like we are constantly not enough, constantly not doing enough, not striving for enough. And I really like that you have this pep talk card, because you need to know that you are enough and that you have been doing enough. And that your enoughness is not even based on your doing, actually. And you need to know that you deserve this support that is coming in. You deserve to receive it. Things are going, this is a tricky thing, because in October you are receiving support and things are getting easier for you. And you might deal with that kind of nagging voice of, like if things are getting easier for me, that's bad because it means I'm not working as hard, or maybe I'm not worthy of things getting easier. Like, we can have that kind of nasty inner critic, you know? And I think if you're affirming anything to yourself this month, it should be like, I deserve to receive. I deserve to live a life of ease. If there's a way that things can be easier for me, I should and I deserve to take that. And my worth is not determined by how much I do, by how hard I struggle, especially how hard I struggle on my own. So, you know, receiving this care and this support is one thing, but the internal journey of getting to a place where it feels comfortable to receive that and you feel worthy of that, that may be another thing. But I think you need to know that you're not alone in this struggle. This is kind of a societal thing, and to not beat yourself up for it. So for our astrological cards, we have Leo, the showstopper, enthusiastic, generous, magnetic, pretentious, show off. It's funny, we were talking about showing off. Bossy, extroverted, proud, headstrong, loyal, seeks approval, loving, and ruler of the 5th house. And then we also have the sun, which Leo is ruled by the sun. So that would be really cool. Like if someone is a Leo sun, Taurus moon, let me know if you or someone significant has that combo. Also, if you are familiar with your birth chart, when the moon is passing through your 5th house and your 6th house, this could also be an important time of the month. I feel like the energy is definitely getting lighter around you. And it's so interesting that we had that symbolism of the flame that was like almost dying out and now it's shining brighter, because the sun is literally a ball of fire and Leo was born to shine. Your light is coming back. I think this group, you have been drained, you have been exhausted, you have been taking on so much. And I think with this combination of cutting off dead ends from your life and like removing the clutter and things that were unnecessarily taking up your energy, as well as now receiving this support, it's going to be a 180 for you. Even looking at this cat looks like it's made of fire. This is your spark coming back. This is your mojo coming back. This is your creativity and your inspiration being increased tenfold. I think you're going to notice a difference in your physical energy this month, positive difference, obviously, in your mental clarity and focus. And damn, it's like, why was I depriving myself of this? Or why did I feel pressured to deprive myself of this? It's a pride thing. That's Leo. We all feel this pride of wanting to be like, look at how much I can do, and look, I can handle all of this on my own. I don't need any help. But then we suffer for it. Our light, our life force becomes so dim. And it's like, you'll see when you start to accept this help in your life, when you start to receive, how much more energy you have, how much happier you are. And it's like, it's not worth it. This like superficial pride of look how much I can do on my own, look how hard I can work. It's not worth it for how much it drains my joy and my passion and my inspiration. I'm even thinking of a creator who feels pride in saying like, yeah, everything you see in this project, it was all me. Like there's a little bit of ego attached to that. Like, and even just wanting to prove to yourself that you can do it all, but then really being exhausted from it. I think you'll really find that allowing for collaboration and allowing for support to come into your life is really going to work wonders. People with Leo placements, people with Taurus placements, they could be significant this month. So for the final part of your general overview, we are going to look at some tea leaf cards to see anything else you should look forward to, look out for, or just anything else you need to know We have crown. Honor and respect will come to you. We have a theme of regalness because Leo is like the king, the lion king, and the sun is the center of our solar system, royal energy. And then we have this crown. Honor and respect will come to you. We have bird perched, waiting for news, package, or letter. You could be receiving some good news that you have been selected for something, or that you are achieving a higher position or a prestigious position. You're earning respect, you're earning recognition, you're earning praise. Oh my gosh, and then we have bread. Period of prosperity and abundance. So not only is your passion and energy going to be increased in the month of October, but your bank account as well. You have honor and respect, prosperity and abundance. So yeah, you could be receiving some good news that this new position is coming your way, or a new opportunity that leads to financial success for you. Maybe this is the support, like you're being backed by a very big force, or you're being welcomed onto a team that can really propel you to greater success. But I just want you to know, group number one, things are looking up for you in the month of October. And I feel like especially around or after the full moon. So, you know, the second half of the month, things are really going to start to get good for you. Like you're on a roll. So this concludes the general overview part of the reading. So now we're going to look at the specific areas of your life. And as you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. I did just want to mention, as I was listing through those areas of life, I said career and studies. And right in that moment, the camera timer went to 1717. Which is the number of the star. So things are going to be very bright in your career, in your studies, in your professional goals, in your creative goals. Things are exceeding your expectations. I feel like that area of your life is really going to shine. And that might be where you're really receiving this support and recognition. Or you could be receiving support in other areas of your life so that you can focus on your career. Like people are rallying to help take care of other things so that you can really focus on your studies or really focus on your projects. Also, before we get into it, I'm gonna drink some tea because all this yapping makes me thirsty. So let's start with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Page of Pentacles. And for your oracle card, we have Give. That's so funny. As soon as I saw the Page of Pentacles, I thought, okay, like someone's coming in with an offer, and then Give came out. The way, just looking at these hands and the way the plants are like growing from the hands, it feels like giving something natural, giving something authentic. Someone is giving of themselves to you, and giving in a way that is unconditional. Someone is giving to you without expecting anything in return, which might feel foreign to you. It might even feel uncomfortable. One of the reasons, group number one, that you've maybe had trouble receiving in the past is if you've dealt with people who give to you, who support you, but then hold that over your head and make it like now you owe them, or now they have some kind of upper hand over you because they gave you this and this and this. And what you're experiencing this month is someone just giving to you out of the goodness of their heart because they want to. Like their intentions are genuine and they don't expect anything in return. Looking at this page who's reading books, someone could be offering you knowledge, offering you secrets to help you succeed. And it's not because they want anything back from you or they want you to feel like you owe them. They really genuinely just want to see you succeed. You're receiving help from someone who just genuinely wants you to succeed, and they have no ulterior motives. They could be lending you books. They could be lending you equipment. They could be, this is a very specific example, but imagine somebody paid for an online course and they're like, I'll give you my password so that you can access that course for free. Or you can have these books, I don't need them anymore. You can have my old camera, I don't use it anymore. Like giving you things that will help you and you don't have to pay them back. They just want to see you succeed. Yeah, this feels like someone who's helping you with your projects, with your studies, with your career. They have been in your shoes in the past. I'm hearing, I know how hard it is to get started. I know how hard it is when you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of support. I was that person once, and so I just want to help you get started on your journey. Whatever new journey you're embarking on, group number 1, it is divinely guided. And the universe is going to make sure that you are supported. I feel like this could be a new person in your life, someone who is relatively new, and you're just sort of getting to know them. So it might also feel strange to you that, we don't know each other that well. Why are you being so generous? That there's something about you might feel a little bit sketched out by how much this person is giving or how generous they're being. And you need to know that it's genuinely coming from a good place, and it's because they see themselves in you. And they've been helped on their journey and they want to pay it forward to you. And maybe someday you can pay it forward to someone else. I just saw 2222. So yeah, that's a confirmation. I don't really see messages coming up about love and romance. So if you are already in a relationship, I feel like things are just going to be stable. Things might kind of be, okay, I hear the word boring, but it's a good boring because it means that there's no drama, there's no like rugs being pulled out from under you. Things are stable. It's like a plane that has reached cruising altitude and there's no turbulence and we are just moving forward. So if you have a love interest or a partner in your life, things are going to keep coasting along as they are with no like major or sudden changes. For those of you who are single or who don't have any specific person in your life, I feel that maybe your focus is not really going to be on love right now, because I think you're focused, there's some project that you're focused on, or you're focused on your career and studies, and you're also just focused on like getting back on your feet with something or getting started with something. A lot of your energy is being invested into yourself and like getting your spark back and getting your light back. So for those of you who don't have like a love interest in your life, I don't necessarily see you focused on that in the month of October. So for our next area of life, which we've been talking about quite a bit, it is your career and studies. And I already know that you are blessed in this area. Yeah, literally, the sun. Yup. You are going to be blessed in this area. The moon, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet. The moon is going to be in Leo between the 24th and the 26th of October. So, I mean, second half, oh my God. I literally just said that and looked up and the camera timer was 24:26. So those are your dates, baby girls, group number 1s, October 24th to the 26th. There's a big blessing coming for you. I think that the second half of the month is going to be great for you, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. And then around those final days will be some kind of climax, if you will. But oh my gosh, like double sun energy, Leo energy, and then we have flow. And I love, you know what I love about this is that things are going great in your career, and look at you. You are just chilling. You are just flowing. So you've already done all of the necessary hard work, tedious work, working your butt off. You've already done all that to manifest this blessing. What we're seeing in October is just you receiving the fruits of your labor, and now you can get into the flow. It's like you had to put in a lot of energy at first to get the current flowing, but now that the current is flowing, it takes care of itself. And you just have to, it's like you jump started it, and now you can just flow in the current. Yep. There could be a shift. There's a specific message about someone who had been doing their work in an analog way shifting to digital, or vice versa. You had been doing your work digitally and you're shifting back to analog. Or you are finding your perfect balance of how you like to do it. You know, I like to keep this digital and I like to keep this analog. And you're finding your perfect workflow that is efficient, but that is also enjoyable. Like, we don't want to indiscriminately prioritize efficiency, because making things as fast and efficient as possible is not always the right thing to do. Sometimes that takes out the fun. Sometimes that doesn't leave room for trial and error and experimentation. You know, I know me personally, I often purposely do things the inefficient way because it's more fun. It makes my brain more stimulated and more happy. So you're finding the balance that works for you individually, and it doesn't have to look like how everybody else does it either. I love the constellations here. It feels, this is your moment, okay? Like the stars are aligned for you. I almost want to just like put the star card here because I feel like that's so your energy this month. The stars are aligned for you. It's time for your big moment to shine. And you can relax knowing that nothing can mess with it. There could be an exciting new beginning coming in your career. You're definitely gaining more visibility, more recognition. You are shining. You know that you're enough. You know that you deserve to be here. And that's all I can say. For your spiritual and personal growth, we have the 10 of Pentacles. And can I say as well, like, lots of reiterations in your reading. Like, I feel like this give is reiterating the 6 of Pentacles of like you receiving support. And then we had the Sun twice. And then the Leo energy was reiterated as well. And then we have this 10 of Pentacles reiterating period of prosperity and abundance. 10 of Pentacles is a long-term energy. You need to know that this period of prosperity and abundance, this is not limited to the month of October. It's not like, oh my gosh, things are getting great this month, and then when November comes along, it's like dying out. This is long-term abundance. You see these people with their child, like, this is abundance that future generations will benefit from. So if you have kids, they will benefit from this abundance. Even if you don't have kids, hypothetically, if you did, they would be taken care of as well. You could set up a college fund for your non-existent kids. Like, that is how well you are doing. I think that's what your spiritual team wants you to know. But you had to start from this basic foundation. I do like that this pyramid starts from the smallest point at the bottom, because it's like you take your first step, you lay down that one brick, and then you lay down 2, and then you lay down 3, but you can't skip up to here. You have to start from this bottom foundation. You have to start from these humble beginnings. And I do feel like many of you maybe are in the early stages of something, and that is when things can be the most tedious and when things can be the most discouraging. I feel like the initial stages are often I mean, every stage has its difficulties, but the initial stages can often feel like the most difficult, like just getting started, like we spoke about previously. But you need to know that you're laying foundations for the future you in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now. Part of your spiritual and personal growth might be thinking about the bigger picture. I think we're so used to expecting immediate success and immediate breakthroughs. It seems like we see that all around us, which a lot of it is a performance too. I feel like with this Leo energy, like seeks approval, show off, there's this societal energy of, it's like somebody succumbing, this is just an example, but like somebody succumbing to beauty standards and feeling insecure about them. So then they heavily edit their photos and then become an agent in perpetuating it. So it's like they're a victim to it, but they're also perpetuating it. And there's something about that in this reading of like people becoming a victim to the culture of hyper independence. And so then they further perpetuate and further perform that, look, I did this all on my own. Meanwhile, they're struggling and feeling insecure and feeling like they have to do everything on their own. But what they're projecting outward is that I'm so proud that I did this on my own. And so they're perpetuating that importance on independence. And same thing with like overnight success, immediate success. Because that is what we tend to be like, oh wow, so amazing. Or like we all like, what is it? Is sensationalize the word? Like, oh my gosh, look, this person blew up overnight. Or like how to go from 0 to 1 million followers in 2 minutes. How to master this in 3 days. Like we're so into getting to that place quickly. So people around you might be performing that, might be trying to play up like, oh, look at how quickly I did this. I'm thinking of, I might go on a bit of a tangent, but I'm thinking of the language learning community. Everyone knows it takes many years to master a language, but nobody wants to hear that, like how to master Japanese in 10 years. No, if you see a video of how to master Japanese in 3 months, oh my gosh, so quick. So good for my busy schedule. How did you do that? Click on the video. Like it's clickbait, right? Like how to go viral after 5 years of posting. No one's going to watch that. How to go viral in a week. Everyone's going to watch that. So people perform this idea of getting things done quickly and of reaching success quickly. And I think your spiritual team is saying, don't fall for that. The foundations that you are laying right now, they're hard and they're frustrating and they take time, but it's so essential that you do not skip that step, and you know that this is a real step in the journey. There's nothing wrong with you if you're taking a lot of time on this initial foundation. That is normal. You're doing what everyone likes to pretend they didn't have to do because they're so excellent and because they know the secrets and they know the hacks. It's all baloney. It's all a performance. That's what your spiritual team wants you to know. And then we have change and we have a book. So it's literally like you are changing the narrative. Let's start romanticizing the long journey. Let's start romanticizing the mundane everyday of putting in these efforts over and over again and having failures and having attempts where nothing happens and having emotional ups and downs. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Let's bring that back. You may be an agent of perpetuating the new narrative. How did I master this? Well, it took me many, many years. And it's not a very interesting, exciting story. It's a lot of me sitting in my room, having trials and errors and working over the same detail over and over and over again. Like that's not glamorous, or that doesn't make good content, or it doesn't make like a fun story, but that's the reality of it. But but let's fall in love with that journey. I feel like that's part of your personal growth, is respecting and appreciating these humble early beginnings. You know, it might take 5 years to lay this first layer, and then it might take 1 year to get these 2 more, and then it might take a month to get these 3 more. It will gain momentum, but we have to, it's like, this is sacred. These early beginnings are sacred, and I feel like you're in that stage right now and you're doing something amazing, and you need to know that without feeling like, how can I blast forward to this big breakthrough? Because it's not all about that. Yeah. So I think those are all the messages for my group number 1s. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, just like the ones we do here on this channel. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. And I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the orange tea light, this is going to be your reading all about your month of October 2024. There is a message coming through for this group, which is kind of similar to a message that came through in group number 1. So if any of you who chose this group were also drawn to group 1, that might be a sign that there's messages there for you too. But for this group, I was hearing simple is best and less is more. So there's a message about being careful that you don't overcrowd or add too many elements to something. Keep it more bare, keep it more simple. This could be your space, it could be a project that you're working on, or even a routine that you are building. To keep it simple or keep it minimalistic, less is more. And then I was also hearing the saying, perfect is the enemy of good. So some of you may be getting yourself stuck because of perfectionistic tendencies or perfectionistic approach. Like sometimes we need to know that something is good enough and that we have done enough work on it and move on to the next thing, rather than getting stuck on one thing, trying to perfect it, that will never be perfect, or that was never meant to be perfect. Because what does that even mean? So that was the message that was coming through for you guys. We're gonna get into the cards now. So we're starting off with a general overview of your month of October. And our first card is the Page of Swords. Then we have Union, Unity, Oneness, Merging. And we have You Belong. You build your sense of belonging. Positive self-talk and taking care of yourself makes your life your own. Accept your authentic self. You're included in what makes this world beautiful. So looking at this Page of Swords and 222 as I'm holding this up. So there's definitely a theme of relationships and deepening bonds. There could be a specific person with whom you are deepening your bond in the month of October, or in general, feeling more connected to those around you, feeling more loving and feeling more loved in return. But looking at the image of this Page of Swords, the sword represents truth, it represents clarity, and we can see it is pricking this person's hand, and it looks like they're bleeding, but then that turns into rain. It feels like someone is realizing the truth about how they have been hurting, or how something or someone hurt them, or they're finally opening up about the ways in which they've been hurting. This could be you, or it could be someone else around you. Of course, it could be both of you opening up and being truthful to each other. But I feel like the way this bleeding is turning into rain, I feel like that's very significant, because rain is what nourishes life. It's what nourishes the plants, and it's what eventually makes the clouds disappear if we just let that rain come down. So this opening up and letting the pain come out is nourishing a relationship. It's allowing the relationship to blossom. It's allowing you and this other person or people to get closer. You may realize that you're actually sharing similar pain or similar hurts, and that once this is all out in the open, it removes a lot of the confusion in the connection. You may be coming to a realization that the ways in which you'd been behaving within a connection were actually because you were craving more closeness, or the reason something hurt you so much is because deep down you want to be closer to this person. Or someone could be having that realization about how they've been acting with you. You know, I've been distancing myself because of this pain, but actually at the end of the day, the reason I have this pain in the first place is because I want to be close to you. We're being vulnerable and honest about how we're hurting. And that is allowing for union, for more closeness, for reconciliation, and for a sense of belonging with each other. Not only do we belong with each other, but our feelings and our experiences belong. There is a place for them to be talked about. This can play out in many different ways, but you and another person could be opening up about things that have hurt your feelings and having a kind of just very straightforward conversation about that. Or someone might be explaining, the reason I've been behaving this way is because I was hurting about XYZ, or I realized that I have this wound and it was causing me to behave in XYZ way, even though what I really want is to be close to you. I feel like in general, your capacity to connect with others is being expanded this month. You're feeling a sense of connection and oneness to others around you. So relationships, but particularly vulnerability within relationships, seems to be a big theme for you this month. So for our next cards, we have create right now, not just during soft, good times. So there's also a theme of embracing pain, embracing shadows, and transmuting them, allowing them to move through you and be expressed rather than holding them in, rather than staying silent. It's interesting that that message came out too, perfect is the enemy of good. Some of you maybe were waiting for the perfect time or the perfect circumstances to create something, or the perfect time and perfect circumstances to speak about something. And I think you're realizing that, first of all, there's never perfect time and circumstances for anything. And also that whatever's inside of you deserves to exist. Your inner truth deserves to exist regardless of the external circumstances. It's as if someone is being like, is this a good time to be sad? Like, is this gonna ruin? No, if you feel how you feel, and it deserves to be expressed and it deserves to be addressed. You deserve to live in your truth when times are good, when times are bad, when it's convenient, when it's inconvenient. It feels like radically being true to yourself. We have the first house. We're just talking about radically being true to yourself. And then we have the mirror and the keyword self. Physical appearance, early childhood, goals, desires, individuality, temperament, personality, natural tendencies, identity, and self-image. There's definitely a theme of you facing yourself this month and facing the truth of how you feel. The word like convenience, inconvenience, this duality keeps coming to my mind. Facing the truth about how you feel, even if it's not convenient. There could be, some of you could have had feelings for a person that you felt were inconvenient. So you tried to suppress them and that didn't work because authenticity doesn't care about what is convenient. Or even a passion, a desire or a passion bubbling up inside of you that was inconvenient, because honoring that passion would require you to make a lot of adjustments in your life to make space for it. You know, this beautiful inspiration coming up that's like, man, like, did you have to come up now? This is not a good time. Your authenticity does not care about that. And I think there's a shift happening in you where whatever's coming up within you, like, we're going to make space for it. That's the priority. It's going to be expressed. And then we also have the 10th house, which is about, this is also about your image, but this is about your public image. Your self-image and your public image. This is also about your career, your place in the world, your position. There's a lot about your image or how you are being perceived, or you or someone close to you could have been suppressing things because of a fear of how they would be perceived on interpersonal relationships, or even on a larger scale, like on a public scale even. We were holding things in because of how it might be perceived, and we are not doing that anymore. And why am I saying we? Because I feel like it's you and someone else. You were mirroring each other in the suppression of authenticity. And now it's like we're opening up to each other. This could also be, it could be more than two people. It could be a community that doesn't care about upholding that perfect, pretty image anymore, and is leaning more towards raw, authentic expression of emotion and vulnerability. And this is exciting. This is an exciting shift. People are showing their true colors. People are creating, expressing in a more authentic way. It's a breath of fresh air. Ooh, I like this energy. If you are familiar with your birth chart, when the moon is passing through your first house this month, or when it's passing through your 10th house, could be important times. We do have the sign of Aries here, and actually I have a cheat sheet for astrological events of this month, and there is a full moon in Aries that is happening in October. It is happening on the 17th. So, and that came out for group 1 as well. I feel like some of you have messages in group 1 too, because that's the second time we're mentioning group 1. Around the full moon could be a significant time for you. It could be the time of an important revelation about your emotions. It could be the time of an important heart-to-heart with someone, or learning the truth about a connection, or a lot of information coming out about a person of interest. And the moon is going to be, because this is Capricorn energy, the moon is going to be in Capricorn at the 9th. On the 9th, which is also the day that Jupiter goes into retrograde, which I feel like is significant for you as well. It feels like you have to turn inward first before you can express your truth. So you could be, in the beginning of the month, you could be in a more internal, introspective energy where you're sorting through your thoughts and feelings. And then maybe around the 9th or around this time of the full moon on the 17th, like you're ready to let it all out. Okay, for the next part, we're gonna look at some tea leaf cards. Anything else you need to know about the month, things to look forward to, things to look out for. Money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. And ant. Work, achievement, success. So we have work paying off. That's group number 1 too. Work paying off, a significant achievement, which leads to money. But we also have this message of unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So you could be embarking on a new journey that will bring you financial gain, but it might not be super stable initially. Like it might take some time to reach, for example, like starting a new job, but it's going to take time until you are a full-time employee with all the benefits, or it's gonna take a while until you get a regular schedule. Maybe at first you are part-time or you have irregular shifts, and so you can't really rely on it to be constantly bringing in a certain amount of money. But after some time, you will reach a stable place in it. Or like starting your own business. For example, there may be some months where you make a lot of money, and then there may be some months where you really don't make a lot of money, but over time it will balance out to a stable income. There's an opportunity for you to have a new income source, but you will need to plan ahead because it's not going to be stable right away. But if you keep working at it, it will bring you success. So that's something else that your spiritual team wants you to know about this month. Interesting. You are very, very strong though, because I'm thinking of how ants can carry, like they can carry many, many times their body weight. I'm pretty sure. Also, kangaroos are pretty freaking strong. Like you don't want to get kicked by a kangaroo. So it's maybe not an easy journey, but you can do it and you can kick butt. Okay, so this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. I have 1 tarot card and 1 oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Queen of Wands. And for your oracle card, we have Silence. I feel like this is about breaking your silence, breaking the silence. It's also about knowing your worth. We've seen that you are coming out of an introspective or more reserved energy, and you're becoming more open and vulnerable. You're also becoming more generous with your love, with your energy, with your time, because it feels good to do so. Not because you have to, or like others are entitled to your energy. You are simply in an energy where right now it feels very good to be giving of yourself. It's like you're feeling particularly affectionate, feeling like particularly like you want to reach out and hang out with people. You are feeling a strong desire. Why was I going to say denial? Well, someone's in denial. We will get into it. But you're feeling a strong desire to connect and to express during this month. And I do feel that that is going to be greatly appreciated. You are particularly magnetic and attractive during this month as well. We had this message of physical appearance with the first house, with, first house having to do with how you look, how you show up in the world. And the Queen of Wands is a very attractive archetype. So it feels like You're becoming more outgoing, you're putting your best face forward, and you are very attractive to people during this month. This would be a good time for any of you who are wanting to expand your networking circle or build an online presence or just build a presence in general. This will be a great time because people are really going to resonate with you and be able to relate to you during this time. You're coming across, because you're coming across as authentic, as personable, and as real. And people are going to be receiving your energy and feeling like this person just gets me. You sharing your rawness and your humanness, it's a breath of fresh air and it makes you very attractive to people. With this silence, some of you could be, you're going through this transformation of embracing your authenticity, and while I feel like those who are receptive of it and those who are ready for it will join you on this journey, there may be a specific person or just people in general who are choosing to stay in the dark and who are choosing silence. And you may be, it's like the silence speaks volumes. And you may be choosing to move on from someone who has chosen silence. For some of you, this could be like someone who has ghosted you, someone who is not communicating with you. And it's like, okay, I respect that. It's your right to stay silent, but I'm going to move on. Or it could be someone who has chosen to stay silent on a certain issue, like someone who didn't speak up for you or who didn't speak up for someone else. And it's like your silence is deafening, your silence is speaking volumes. Whoever has gone through this whole thing and is still choosing to be silent or is still choosing not to reach out and communicate with you, or who is not choosing to speak up, it just feels like we're moving on from that. You're moving on from someone. Because you stepping into this energy of raw and vulnerable expression, you're going to see clearly who is receptive to it and who embraces their own truth in response to you, like meets you with that same energy, and then who stays in denial and who stays in the dark and who stays in silence. And you may need to just like send them love and wish them well on their journey and continue to move forward. So next, for your career and studies, for your tarot card, we have the 8 of Wands. And for your oracle card, we have Birth. Ooh. This money path, a path with money is waiting for you to find it. It kind of looks like it's coming from inside of you, doesn't it? Like it's maybe not an opportunity out there that you are pursuing, but you realizing your own potential of generating income from a gift that you have, from insights that you have, from your expertise, like from what you can offer to people. The money path is coming from inside the house. The money path is coming from you. You are realizing how you can utilize your gifts. So it does kind of seem like an independent endeavor. This could be your own business. It could be a little side hustle. Maybe it starts as a side hustle, but it grows into something bigger. But it's definitely coming from you. It's being birthed from you. And this looks like a pomegranate. I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks like one, which is a sign of abundance, fertility. And I also don't know what these birds are, but they're reminding me of storks, which makes me think of a promising venture. So things are looking good for you in your career and studies. It's still, whatever you're birthing, it still seems like it's in the idea stage, in the planning stage, in the brainstorming stages, but I will say it's developing quickly. I don't see this as something that you're gonna spend months and months and months planning and brainstorming, which it's fine if you do that, by the way. Like there's nothing wrong with anybody's pace. I just don't see you being in that energy. It seems you could even be channeling these ideas because it's like it's coming to you very quickly. You might burst up and be like, oh my gosh, I need a notebook, and or typing and just all of these ideas come to you. It's a plan forming very quickly. All of these ideas coming in at the same time. You're hit with that inspiration and then getting to work relatively quickly. The Eight of Wands tends to show that things are manifesting quickly and that there is a lot going on at the same time. So you could be working, going to school, and then working on this other project at the same time, and you will need to be careful about your time management skills, your time management practices, or just that the ball is rolling really quickly and that this is gaining momentum very quickly. It's like just at the beginning of this month, I had this idea, and now at the end of the month, it's fully formed. And I feel like when you take action on this idea, you are going to get a response very quickly. People are going to respond to what you're doing very quickly. It's like you're getting engagement, or you're getting messages coming in, you're getting offers coming in quite quickly from the moment you birth this idea. There is expansion happening, fast expansion. And it's just proof that every idea that is channeled onto earth has its own personality, it has its own trajectory. Some things will take months and months and years, and some things will happen very quickly. And one is not better or worse than the other. It's just that every idea has its own unique journey. And you happen to be channeling an idea that forms very, very quickly. Just like some plants grow overnight, and then some plants take years to reach their full size. And it's not better or worse, it's how they are. But you are channeling something that will form and grow and expand quickly, which is fun and exciting, but it can also be a bit overwhelming. So I feel like you could be working on multiple projects or multiple jobs during this month. And yeah, something about time management. Time management is important. You could be traveling for work or traveling for school, or planning a trip in the midst of all of this. You could even be traveling to meet up with a collaborator, or like traveling for an audition or traveling for an interview. Like you have to make a day of it. You're taking a day off to go to this audition or to go take this. Like I remember one time I wanted to get like certification, but I couldn't take the exam in my hometown and I had to drive to Toronto to do it. So, it could be something like that. You're busy. Okay, so finally we have your cards for spiritual and personal growth. Ooh. For your tarot card, we have the Hierophant. This feels, well, it's both. It's spiritual growth and personal growth. Oh my gosh, literally, what was the first thing I said when we started this group? Simple is best. Simplify. But I will say, simplifying can be a process of trial and error. You may have to have too many elements and have too many things on your plate before you discover what is really important. So I feel like your life is cleaning up, but things might get messier before they clean up. I'm thinking of someone who is becoming successful, aka you, and you're having a lot of opportunities come in. And this simplifying your life, it may be trial and error. So let's say you have 10 opportunities come in. You may You may be putting pressure on yourself, like, okay, I need to keep it simple. I can't say yes to everything. But if you do that, it's going to put too much pressure on you to choose the correct thing. You know, I don't want to take on too much, so I don't know which one of these I should pick. It might be a matter of taking on everything and then realizing that, oh shit, this is too much, and then realizing what you need to let go of. So it could be a trial and error. It could be a process of elimination. This is Taurus energy. It's like real life, practical experience. So you might have to reach that place where, oh, this is overwhelming, I have too much going on, to realize what is important. So don't beat yourself up if you took on too much, or don't beat yourself up if your life gets a bit chaotic and messy, because it was that very experience that informed you of the bare bones that you needed to keep. You're learning through experience what you should keep around when you simplify your life. And I think you're becoming more realistic and more gentle with yourself, in the sense of, I don't need to know the right thing before even trying. That is a dumb standard to put on myself. I should allow myself to try and make a mess and see for myself what works for me. Because life is a process of experimentation. It's not a process of testing, will I get it right or wrong? It's, I will find out what is right through the experience. You could also be reading a lot this month, or studying a lot for personal growth, for self-improvement. You could be accumulating knowledge on a specific topic. You could be taking lessons. You could be taking a course. You could be in some kind of even a one-on-one mentorship. This is all about, well, one of the things it's all about is educating yourself, which you could be doing through self-study, through reading on your own, but it could also be like through a teacher, through a mentor, through an organized study plan. I do think you're doing something to increase your knowledge, because you also have Sagittarius energy here and Mercury energy. So it's like literally expanding your knowledge, opening your mind, expanding your horizons. You're educating yourself in a way that will help you moving forward in your projects, in your money path. And there's also a feeling of, because the Hierophant also gives me a feeling of aligning with your highest self. And you're realizing that, and I think this is something you know, but it's like you're putting it into practice now, that when you show up in the world as your authentic self, you don't have to so consciously think about what to keep in your life and what to let go of. It kind of sorts itself out, because whatever is not resonating with your frequency is going to fall off. And whatever is resonating with your frequency is going to stick to you. Of course, you have to do some management about prioritizing your time and who gets access to you and things like that. But like, for example, if you were like, I don't know what relationships I should keep in my life and what relationships I shouldn't keep in my life. If you don't know that, rather than a process of consciously choosing, you, I will keep you, you, I will not keep you, just commit to showing up as your authentic self. And that is just the you that feels natural, the you that feels good. And you will see who naturally sticks around. It may not be you getting rid of who is not meant for you, may not be a process of, let me see, who should I remove from this list? It might just be you being you, and then realizing, hey, like, Jennifer is still ghosting me, or like my love interest is like, has fallen off the face of the earth. This person hasn't reached out to me in like a month. It sorted itself out. And what we're not going to do is like go out of our way to keep something around that is not matching our frequency. So if you're not sure who or what is meant to be in your life, it's kind of like let it play out. It may not be something you have to consciously choose and weed out, but commit to being you, let it play out, and see what naturally or who naturally sticks around in your life. I feel like I do this often with goals, you know? I shouldn't say I stopped doing this entirely, but I used to really intentionally set goals of like, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start building this habit. But if I let myself to naturally be, I don't do it. And I realized that I probably don't actually want to do this because like, let's say I decided, I'm like, I'm gonna learn German or something. And I write that down and I'm like, this is my goal. But then a month goes by and I have studied German 0 times. Rather than beating myself up or forcing myself even more to do it, I just come to the realization of like, okay, maybe I actually don't want to learn German. Because if I wanted to, I would have done it. And that's okay. That's not a judgment of like, you don't want it enough. It's just an observation. Okay, I clearly don't want to do this as much as I think I do. Or even sometimes I'm like, I should really learn what the heck I'm doing on social media. Like I should learn how to like work with the algorithm and like make my brand and stuff. And so I'll like watch a workshop or something and then I don't apply anything. And it's like, I probably don't really care. You know, maybe I like the idea of it, but clearly I don't actually want to do this because when I leave myself to be authentically, I don't do it. You know, like it's one thing to hold yourself accountable and make effort for something that is genuinely resonates with you and that you genuinely want. But maybe observing yourself, you will naturally see what you're meant to do and what you're not meant to do, just of what you gravitate towards when you allow yourself to be natural. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And that will make things a lot simpler. If you're like, oh my God, there's so many things I want to do. What should I prioritize? Let your body show you. Let your natural instincts show you. Because what you prioritize and what you gravitate towards is probably what you are meant to be doing. Yeah. So group number 2, those are all of the messages that I have for you. So we're going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings, and they're just like this one, just like these ones that we do on my channel, and you can also choose topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below, and finally my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I am sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the yellow tea light, this is going to be your reading all about your month of October 2024. A message that came through before we even get into the cards. I had a strong image of this group checking the labels of products and maybe comparing different products, checking the labels to see what is in them. This could be because you are avoiding a certain ingredient or you want to make sure that a certain ingredient is included. It could also be something like, for example, there's one product that is really expensive and it's really hyped of being this amazing product. But then when you look at this more affordable and less hyped version of the same thing, it contains the same active ingredients. The only difference is the branding and the marketing. So you're like, why would I spend all of this money on this one when this has the same ingredients and it does the same thing? It's just, it doesn't have the fancy branding. I don't know, that's very specific. And it could even be, at first I was thinking of this as products, like food or skincare or something like that. But it could also be technology, This product does all the same functions. It has all of the same specs to it, but it's way more affordable. So why would I go with this one when functionally they do the same thing? You could be making a significant purchase this month and you're kind of comparing different brands, trying to decide where to make your purchase. Or you could be changing one of your regular products. For example, switching to different shampoo or switching to different deodorant or switching to different protein powder or something like that. So that was just a message that came through right at the start. Maybe that's a confirmation for some of you that this is your group, or just something to keep in the back of your mind as you go into October. But let's get started with your cards now. So we're gonna do the general overview of your month. And we have the King of Swords, individuality, uniqueness, perfection, and you focus. You focus on your accomplishments, your positives, and all you are grateful for. You don't need constant reminders of all that you consider a failure or a setback. A positive mindset helps you grow. So there's a pretty strong message of focus and clarity that is coming through for my group number 3s. I really think you are on top of your shit this month. You are on the ball, you are very focused on your goals, and you have a clear plan on how to achieve them. Of course, I get this from the You Focus card. I get it from the King of Swords. He is very sharp intellectually. He is on point. He has mental clarity. He has decisiveness. He has a plan. And even this snowflake, I think because it's sharp, and it's clear. It's making me think of your sharpness and clarity. You could be realizing that you perform a lot better when you are fueled by positive reinforcement rather than negative. Just looking at this one, realizing that a love for success fuels you more than a fear of failure, or celebrating yourself when you do something right motivates you to do better rather than beating yourself up for what you didn't do right. And so you could be trying to shift your focus more towards positive reinforcement this month and celebrating all of the small steps of your journey. I also think you've taken a great deal of time to get to know yourself. When you feel the most motivated, what times of day you are the most energized, what's important to you. This is really going to help you in your manifesting as well. You have a very clear idea of what it is that you want and why you want it and how it's going to impact your life and how you're going to get there. You're moving forward with a lot of clarity and intention. And I think that you have taken quite a lot of time to reach this place. And so it feels very good. I definitely feel that this King of Swords is representing you. You could be finding a method to your routine or to your manifesting practices that is completely unique to you. So you're not necessarily just following someone else's model. You could actually have studied a lot of other people's approach to manifesting and achieving their goals and taken little bits and pieces of what works for you while also incorporating things that just completely came from you. But it seems like you've reached a place where you have a pretty good formula to your success and like knowing how to reach your goals and knowing how to manifest what you want after a lot of thorough thought and research and trying things out. So I'm proud of you, group number 3. You've reached a really good place. So for your next oracle cards, we have the more you create, the more the universe is. Oh my gosh, this is totally giving manifestation vibes. 555. as I say that. So I feel like this is a huge confirmation that you are manifesting your desires this month. There may be a significant manifestation of yours that you are reaching in the month of October, or you could be really inspired to manifest a lot of things this month. Like you're just on your manifesting shit this month. And I think you're very aware of the fact that you are an extension of the universe, and that your life is literally the universe observing and learning from itself, and that it's in the universe's and in the collective's best interest for you to explore your desires and to create your desired reality. You could be in a place where you are observing your desires without judgment. And so if you want something, it's a yes. Like as long as we're not hurting anybody, we're going to look into it. Whereas maybe before, I just think you're approaching yourself from a place of curiosity rather than judgment. So when you want something and you ask, okay, but why do I want this? It's not coming from a place of, is my desire valid? Yeah, but like, why do you want that? Why do you think that's what you want? It's more like, oh, okay, this is a desire that's coming up. And so right off the bat, it's already automatically valid. And let's dig deeper into why I think this might make me happy and like what's at the core of this desire. Because if I examine this, it's going to help me to understand what my soul really likes and what lights my soul up, and help me think of more things to manifest. I don't even know how to say this, but it's like you are becoming that generous and benevolent universe to yourself. Like if you imagine the universe as a higher power that is so excited to give you everything you desire and to cooperate with you in creating it, you are becoming that for yourself. So you are hyping up all of the things that you desire. You are getting excited about all of your wishes and saying like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. Because you understand that no matter what happens, you are going to learn about yourself in the process, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. Oh my gosh. And then we literally have Jupiter, which is so funny. When I said the benevolent and generous universe, I was thinking that's such Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the epitome of benevolence, of generosity, and just an expansive and jovial nature. And I really feel like that is your energy this month. Jupiter with abundance, growth, expansion, Sagittarius and Pisces. Thursday, higher education, philosophy, good luck, optimism, faith, generosity, and prosperity. Someone with Sagittarius or Pisces placements could be significant, or you could have these placements. We do have a message of Thursday. There could be something that you are committing to doing on Thursdays, or just a lucky day will be on a Thursday. Like you'll receive a blessing on a Thursday. Obviously, there's several Thursdays in the month of October, but we also have higher education, which I definitely think this is talking about learning about yourself. And it's interesting because Jupiter is going into retrograde this month I have a cheat sheet for the astrological events of October. It's going into retrograde on the 9th. So for most of October, Jupiter is going to be in retrograde. And so it feels like this expansive energy is turning inward. So you are expanding, you're blowing up your inner world and learning a lot about that, which will then project outwards into your external world. And it's like I've said, you've taken a lot of time to learn about yourself and to understand what it really is that you want, so that you can feel excited about everything that you create. And we also have Libra, which the sun is going to be in Libra for most of October, which probably means that the sun is trining Jupiter, because the sun is in Libra, Jupiter is in Gemini. So they're forming a harmonious aspect. I feel like this is really a time of illuminating your truest desires and seeing them in a positive light. So if you've had any desires that you feel ashamed of, or that you feel are not like valid or not good, or that they're not important enough to pursue, any way that you have been dismissing the things that you desire, we're not doing that anymore. We're getting happy about them. We're getting excited about them. And we're understanding that you manifesting your ideal reality is what is best for everyone. It's what is best for the collective. The universe is so wise and knows how all of our ideal realities coexist with each other. And I think you're becoming more comfortable with the idea of allowing your dream reality to take up a lot of space, and know that it is going to positively impact others, and that it's not selfish or doesn't take away from others to manifest more of what you want, because there's room for everybody's dream reality to exist. There's room for everybody's joy to exist. Someone with Jupiter in Libra could also be significant if you are familiar with people's Jupiter placements. Also, Virgo risings, Gemini risings, or people with heavy Mercury energy, like Virgo, Gemini energy. Gemini energy is coming through pretty strong. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini, and King of Swords has Gemini energy too. So next we have your tea leaf cards for anything else you need to know about the month, things to look forward to, things to look out for. Chair filled. Someone new is entering your life, or someone you already know is becoming a more important part of your life. So it could be someone you have never heard of before, don't even know yet, who's entering your life. But for some of you, I feel like it's someone who you know of, but they haven't really filled a significant role in your life before, and they are becoming a regular part of your life. So for example, someone who has always been just a casual acquaintance is now becoming a closer friend to you. Or someone who was like a random coworker who you walked by their desk sometimes, but you didn't really talk to that much. Now you're talking more frequently. Someone from high school who you haven't seen in years, you're reconnecting with them. Some of you, it's going to be something like that. We have needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. I just got the most vivid taste of vanilla frosting right now, so I wonder if there's a celebration happening, because I'm thinking of a cake with frosting on it. A sincere wish will be granted, and the precision that it takes for a thread to go in a needle. I'm telling you guys, you are so clear about what you desire and what you're going to manifest, down to the smallest details. You have such a clear vision of what you're doing and what you're manifesting. And this is confirming that it is going to come true down to the most precise details, exactly as you have specified. And to an outsider, it might seem like, oh my gosh, what are the odds that it all fell into place like that? But of course it did. The universe would not have it any other way. And we have Weeping Willow with Family Sorrow. Some of you might be, it's funny because we had that message of like, as long as you're not hurting anyone and take up more space with your desired reality, there's room for everybody's happiness. There may have been some of you who worry if, is me creating my dream reality going to disappoint someone, going to hurt someone, going to inconvenience someone, going to make someone uncomfortable? Is me receiving more going to take away from someone else? Like worrying about what about other people? And we have family sorrow here, which it could just be about others in general. But if we take it literally, some of you might be manifesting something that does like make your family unhappy in some way, and that could be weighing on you a bit. So one example of this would be if part of living your dream life involves you moving away, and then your family is sad because you're not going to be as close to them. Or you are pursuing a certain career path, but your family wanted you to do something different, and so they have to deal with that disappointment. Or again, it could just be other people, like worrying about how you pursuing your dream life could negatively affect other people. And I think, obviously, I don't want to belittle the importance of that, but I think I would say the same way, you know, if you love someone, if you care about someone, you wouldn't want them to hold back on living the life they truly want to live just because you might have to deal with a little bit of disappointment or sadness in the process. Jupiter is so big, like big-hearted, big-minded, and you can hold, like you can simultaneously be sad or upset and also be really happy for someone. You can have those mixed emotions. And I know, I mean, group number 3, I maybe don't know you, but I feel like I know that you would want others to do what really makes them happy, even if it gave you a minor inconvenience or you were a little bit disappointed about something. Because it's like, I will get over it because I know that this is what's best for you. And I know that as such, this is what is also best for me. And this will not get in the way of anything that is meant for me. This will not get in the way of me living my best life. When you understand, it's really about understanding that the universe has everyone's best interests at heart, and the universe is going to make sure that everybody gets their best life. Having that knowledge allows you to get over those moments of disappointment, or those moments of, oh, that didn't go how I expected, or oh, I wish they would have done something else, or oh, I'm going to miss that person. You're able to zoom out and say, this is happening for their best interest, and so as such, it is also happening for mine. And I know that the universe is going to take care of everything. And holding back because someone else might feel a certain kind of way about what you're doing does not actually help them. And it's not actually loving towards them or loving towards yourself. So just how you might have to go through periods of discomfort to get to your best life, other people might have to go through periods of discomfort to understand that they cannot control what your best life is, and they cannot tell you what to do. Yeah. So this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. I have 1 tarot card and 1 oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So for your love life and relationships, your tarot card is the 7 of Swords, and your oracle card is Womb. This feels like fake it till you make it if I put these two together, because the 7 of Swords, it has to do with deception, and then the Womb feels like something is still a work in progress. Something is still in the making. Something's being created behind the scenes. So you might be going through a situation where on the inside, you feel like you are not fully formed yet, or you are still a work in progress, but you are portraying yourself as if you are the finished product. Yes, exactly. That's what fake it till you make it means. And so you might be, I feel like this would probably come up in networking or in dating, if you're dating. Portraying yourself as confident, even if sometimes you're not feeling that way. There could also be a message, and this is kind of a completely different one, but womb, that area, the lower abdomen, we often get intuitive hits in this area. You know, if something feels right in our gut or something feels wrong in our gut. And so you may be using this energy center to pick up on sus energy, sketchy energy around you. Pay attention to your gut feelings this month. Like if someone gives you a bad vibe or you feel like someone is full of BS, don't ignore that instinct. You may feel like you want to give someone a chance or give someone the benefit of the doubt, which is fine, but please don't let anyone cross over your boundaries. So let's say there's someone at work who's giving you a bad vibe. Yes, you can still be nice to them. You can still engage with them, but don't let them in, or don't give them access to certain parts of you. Don't do anything that will make you betray that gut feeling, because you're going to find that you were right. Anyone you got a sketchy vibe from, I feel like you are going to be proven right. So there's that message, and then there's also the completely different message of faking it until you make it, and that helping you in your relationships, especially with meeting new people. Those two could be related in some way, and I would love to know. Please let me know if in your situation those two messages are related to each other. Oh, also, this is very specific, and I don't think this is for everyone, but I'm also thinking of pregnancy scare, because there's womb and then the Seven of Swords, which is about deception. So it's like you thought, but then that's not what it was. Interesting. Okay, so, also I want to say this is Aquarius moon. So you or someone significant could have that placement, moon in Aquarius. Okay, next we have our cards for career and studies. We have the Eight of Swords, which is Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is in Gemini right now, and Jupiter is going retrograde in the sign of Gemini this month, like we have talked about. So that might actually be something that affects your career or your studies. I'm not sure what house Jupiter is in your chart. That's going to be different for everybody. But Jupiter retrograde might be affecting your career, and especially your philosophy when it comes to work, how you view your work and what that means for you. And that retrograde is going to be going until early 2025. So it could be affecting you for a few months. And then we also have listen. Yeah, so I feel like it's going to make you go inward. I think what is happening for you right now, and this is an energy that is starting in October, but I think is going to continue into early 2025, is going within and re-examining the paths that you are pursuing, the goals that you're prioritizing, because you might find, group number 3, that you have been playing it safe in some ways. I feel like this is related somehow. You have been playing it safe because there are bigger things that you want. Maybe you desire more success. Maybe you desire to do what you're doing on a larger scale. Maybe you desire more recognition. Maybe you desire to do something more challenging or more rare. But you're playing it safe. You're not quite going for it yet. You're realizing the ways in which you have held yourself back, maybe even sabotaged yourself. I do sometimes see self-sabotage with the Eight of Swords. And I almost feel like this fake it till you make it, or this acting as if energy, is an important part of you. Car honking outside is confirmation. Reaching your success. I'm just seeing you in a house, and it's like you can't become confident from inside the house. You have to step outside and interact with the world and interact with the thing you want or interact with the field you want to be in. And you will become confident in the process. And for a while, it's like you will feel like an imposter until you don't. You will feel like you're faking it until you don't. It's just a matter of time and experience. And maybe a lot of people go through that initial stage of feeling weird and feeling out of their element. It's like there's a space you want to be in and you're standing outside of it and you feel like you don't belong there and you're waiting to feel like you belong there so that you step into it. And the universe is saying, step into it, sit in that discomfort, sit with that feeling that you don't belong there, because you'll feel that way until one day you don't. But you have to just go there. There's certain things you've been holding yourself back from because you don't feel ready yet. But not feeling ready is part of it. Do the thing and be in that feeling of not feeling ready, of feeling like you're faking it, of feeling like an imposter, of feeling like you don't belong. It's a process that you go through until one day you don't feel that way anymore. Just through time and experience. So I think this could be a very introspective month when it comes to examining your career and academic journeys and your trajectory, and really getting honest with yourself about the ways in which you've been holding yourself back, and no longer being afraid of imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome does not equal imposter. You might feel like you're faking it, but you're actually not. You know, like, I'm gonna pretend I know what I'm doing until I actually do. But maybe the kicker is that you know what you're doing a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Okay, and then for your spiritual and personal growth, we have strength. So we have some Leo energy coming through. And we have surrender. Having the strength to surrender. Letting a storm happen in your life and clearing away what you don't need anymore. If a storm is going to happen, let it happen. That's a message for you. And maybe you can interpret that in different ways. If a storm can happen, then it should happen. It's almost giving tower energy. If a house of cards is so flimsy that it can be knocked over by a gust of wind, then let it be knocked over. If something is that fragile, let it be knocked away. It's like there's a flimsy illusion. If it's that flimsy, let it be blown away. And I feel like that could make sense or apply in different ways for different people. Someone could be, you or someone else could be upholding a certain persona or trying really hard to uphold a certain image. It's as if someone is trying to uphold a perfect image, but it takes so much effort to uphold a perfect image because the smallest thing could ruin it. You know, perfect means no flaws. So the smallest thing could ruin that. The second there's one flaw, there goes the perfect image. If something is that easy to destroy, then it should be destroyed. If a perfect image is that easy to ruin, just let it be ruined. Let it happen. You may be wasting energy trying to uphold things. I'm also thinking of people trying to uphold the image of a perfect relationship when really maybe there's a lot of turmoil. that is just bubbling below the surface, but we just act like everything's okay, but the illusion is so flimsy. Just let it burn. Let it burn. It takes so much effort to uphold such a flimsy mask. Just drop it. There's a message like that. The letter S could be significant as well, because strength and surrender both start with the letter S. Letting go. It's funny, like you could be holding a really heavy weight, and when you let go of that weight, it feels lighter. But it takes a lot of strength to carry a heavy weight, but it also takes a lot of strength to bring yourself to drop it. I'm sorry, this one is kind of cryptic. I feel like I'm speaking in like metaphors and stuff, but that's the message for you. And I actually don't feel called to pry for more specific examples. I think it resonates with you how it's meant to resonate. What I will say is that this looks very sweet, and I feel like it's unique to see the strength card, the lion in the strength card, as like a sweet little companion animal. So there could be messages about companion animals for some of you. Getting strength from a companion animal, whether they're here with you in this earth or on the other side. 3333 as I say that. Someone could be acting like they're this big, mean, ferocious lion, but they're actually this cute little teddy bear. And actually, going back to this, you may get a sneaking suspicion about someone that is not even a negative thing. You know, I think I gave the example of like, oh, I have a bad vibe about this person. But you could also get a vibe where, you know, someone acts like they're all big and mean and tough, and you're like, nah, I get the vibe that you're actually a real sweetheart. And you would be right about that too. Like, you may just be getting sneaking suspicions that people are not what their persona says they are, and they're actually quite the opposite. And you would be right about that. It's just anything that is taking a lot of effort and a lot of resources to uphold, and it's like a constant hamster wheel to uphold it. Just let it die, okay? That's the message. I'm also thinking of a celebrity who's not actually a celebrity, but they're like spending so much money to uphold that image that they are. I don't know, maybe they're paying for like a lot of bots or something. And it's like, we're not going to these extremes to uphold personas that are so flimsy. Yeah. Okay, so that's all of the messages that I have for my group number 3s. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings that are just like the ones we do on this channel. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appears in this reading, to their higher self, and I'm sending love to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.